Hello and welcome to Pilates Punx. We're here for your free 25-minute workout. Today we are going to do a really quick classical Pilates workout, and I say quick because that whole repertoire is much longer than 25 minutes, but we're going to cut it down so you get a very classical workout on the mat that you can do within 25 minutes. Without further ado, we're going to get started. We're going to go ahead and get started by laying down on the mat. We want our feet to be hip bone distance apart, so we're in line with the hip bones, not the outsides of the hips. We take a nice deep inhale in through the nose and then exhale out through the mouth. I'm going to take a nice big inhale in through the nose, drawing that out to the sides of the ribs all the way into the upper back, and then exhale, sink the navel to spine even deeper. We hold that navel to spine connection. We draw our breath out to the sides and up, rather than letting the belly puff out, and we exhale, keep that navel to spine connection as we exhale. Adding movement on our inhale, we're going to tuck the pelvis and start to lift our hips up towards the ceiling into a bridge. Exhale, our arms go up and over, reaching back in line with our ears. We keep the arms back as we round down one vertebrae at a time. When our tailbone lengthens, exhale, draw the arms down. Inhale, hips lift up. Exhale, arms go up and over, keeping the arms reaching back, finding articulation through the vertebrae as we round down, and arms come down by the side. Inhale, hips lift up. Exhale, arms go up and over, keep the arms reaching back. We slowly peel it down. Tailbone lengthens to the mat. We draw the arms back down by our side. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, arms. Inhale to lower, and exhale, arms will lengthen by our side down into the mat. From here, we're going to make our way to laying on our side. We want to line our back up with the edge of the mat. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked, hands behind the elbow, elbows are closed, legs to tabletop in front of you. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, we're going to open our top elbow and rotate to look long past it. Make sure your top knee isn't sliding back. Big inhale. Exhale, we close. Keep your knees glued together. Big inhale and exhale. If your top knee is sliding back, that means your hip is moving. Big inhale and exhale to close. Big stretch for the thoracic spine. One more. Big inhale. Exhale, we can open up. Take a big inhale. Exhale, empty the lungs as you close. And then we are going to flip onto our other side. Again, we want to line our shoulders and hips up with the edge of the mat, so your back is lined up. Your hands go behind the neck and head. Your legs are to tabletop. Make sure your neck is long. You're not pulling down on your head. Big inhale. Exhale, open. Knees stay stacked. Big inhale and exhale, close. And again, we don't want that top knee to slide back with our rotation. Deep inhale and exhale, we can open up. Take a deep inhale and exhale, we can close. We've got one more here, a nice big inhale. On your exhale, let's rotate, open up. Look long past that open elbow. Deep inhale here and exhale, we'll close. And then we're gonna make our way to laying on our back. We are going to get ready for our hundreds, and I'm adding a link above if you want to work on your hundreds a little bit more. We're gonna lift our legs to tabletop, and you have the option of staying here or extending the legs long. We're going to take a big inhale, exhale, round up. We start pumping the arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. If your legs are long, your heels are together, toes are apart. If your legs are in tabletop, then you have your feet parallel, your inner thighs are hugging together. We're pumping the arms like you're splashing the surface of water. The movement of the arms is coming from the lats to the base of the shoulder blade. We want to keep going. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, we want to make sure that we're doing our lateral breathing pattern so we're not losing that connection in that lower abdominal wall. Round up a little bit more. Take the legs back to tabletop, relax the neck and head back. Plant your feet to the mat. Going on to our roll-ups, we can have your knees bent and we can round up, or we can walk our hands up the backs of the legs, or if you want more of a challenge, our legs are long, heels together, toes apart, arms back in line with the ears. On our inhale, we're going to round up, scoop the abs in and up as you reach towards your toes. Keep your arms reaching forward as you slowly round down one vertebrae at a time. Your neck and head are the last thing to come back. If your feet are planted, you just round up to sitting up tall and then you round down. If our legs are long, we're rounding and reaching forward towards our feet. Make sure you're not collapsing onto yourself. You have that active scoop and lift of the abs. Again, chin towards chest, let's round up, scooping the abs in and up, reaching forward, slowly round our way right back down. Your neck and head are the final things to come back. 2 more. chin towards chest. We want to get that rib cage reaching up and over the hips. Try to keep your feet planted the entire time. We slowly round right back down. We have one more, chin towards chest. We're going to round our way all the way up, and then take it slow. Find your articulation of the vertebrae. Control that movement with your abs. We can relax the arms by the side, and we will be lengthening your left leg on the mat. Extend your right leg up to the ceiling. Get that nice lengthened leg. Take external rotation, heel towards the midline, toes facing out. Inhale, draw your leg across your midline, back in line with your right hip, and lift up. We go down to the left, back in line with the hip, and lift. Reaching long out of your hip socket, keep your right hip anchored. Make sure your hips are not lifting. We go across the body, back in line with the hip, and lift. Keeping those hips stable. Inhale across, back in line with the hip. We lift straight up. And then we lower straight down. We go across the body and back around. Again, inhale straight down. Exhale to the left, up over that right hip. Keeping that external rotation, your heel is towards the midline, the toes are facing out. Keeping that heel as your guiding point, straight down across the body and back up. And then we're going to extend our right leg. We'll lift the left leg up to the ceiling. Lengthen it, find that external rotation, arms by your side. Inhale across your body, back in line with your hip. We exhale to lift. Inhale across, back in line with the hip. We exhale, lift up. Reaching long out of that hip socket, you want to again lead with your heel. Inhale it down to the right, back in line with that left hip, and lift. One more in this direction. When you get to the top, we reverse straight down, go across your body and back up. Again, inhale straight down, exhale up and around. We're here for 3 more. Sink that navel to spine deeper. Last 2. Reach long out of the hip socket. 1 more. Inhale down, exhale across and back around. And we can lower that left leg down. We're going to bend the knee, plant the feet, hip bone distance apart. Keep your feet firmly planted, and we'll round our way all the way up, sitting up nice and tall. We'll scoot forward so we have a lot of that mat behind us, and we find our rounded ball shape. Hands are on the ankles, knees are as wide as the shoulders. You keep your gaze at your navel point, and we rock back to the base of the shoulder blades, and you draw back up using your abs and not momentum. We're rolling like a ball here. You want to keep your heels very closely into the tush. Make sure your legs aren't kicking out in front of you. You want to keep your gaze at your navel point, and make sure you only round back to the base of the shoulder blades. You're not going up into the shoulders or onto the neck. Keeping that scoop of the belly, you rock back, scoop those abs in and up to draw forward. Keep those heels glued together. Keep your hands on your ankles. Make sure your knees are only as wide as your shoulders. And we want to really keep that work in the abs. So if you feel like you can't quite catch yourself, you might open up through that sternum, finding a flat back at the top before returning to your rounded shape. We are planting the feet to scoot back slightly, and we lay down. Pull your right knee into the chest, outside hand to the ankle, inside hand to the knee, and switch. Left hand, left ankle, and switch. Right hand, right ankle. So your hand placement changes as you switch legs. Inhale with the right leg. Exhale with the left. Keep the chest lifted up. Elbows are wide and lifted. Keep your gaze at your navel point. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, left leg. And we can pull both knees in, relax the neck and head. Our hands go on our shins. Our elbows are wide and lifted. We're going to round up to look at your belly button. Chest stays up. Keep your gaze at that belly button. Inhale, arms reach back, legs go forward. Exhale, draw back in. Again, inhale, reach, heels together, toes apart. Exhale, sink the navel to spine to draw in. Inhale, reach. Exhale it in. Again, chest stays lifted as we reach. Exhale, it stays lifted as we draw in. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, navel to spine pulls you back in. And we relax the neck and head back. We're gonna lift our right leg up as high towards the ceiling as we can get it. We're grabbing as high towards our ankle as we can get. And we switch legs. 2 long legs. Inhale, switch that to the right. Exhale, switch to the left. Pointing the toes. Inhale and exhale. Reaching long out of the hip sockets. We want to really think of that length through the back of the leg. Controlling this movement with our abs. Pull both knees in, relax the neck and head back. We'll be lifting 2 legs up to the ceiling, and if chest lifting is still okay, your hands go behind the neck and head. You're welcome to keep the head down if this is too much, otherwise we lift. We lower the legs forward and we lift back up. I want you to make sure your lower back is not arching as we lower the legs. We inhale to lower and exhale, sink that navel point to lift. Inhale, lengthen and lower, and exhale, draw back up. Again, inhale, lower. Exhale all the way up, and we can relax back. Lower your feet, take a second. Our hands are behind the neck and head. We're gonna pull the right knee in and extend the left leg long. Lift the chest, twist up and over towards the right knee and switch to the left side. Inhale, left shoulder to the right knee. Exhale, right shoulder to the left. Rounding from up above the hips. Make sure your hips are nice and even on the mat. We round up and over to the right and switch to the left. Draw up and over to the right and hold on this last one. Breathe into our work. And switch to the left, hold on this last one, breathe into the work, and we can relax back down. If you want to work on your series of 5 a little bit more, I'm adding a link to that video just above here. We're gonna plant our feet hip bone distance apart and reach your arms forward, finding your C curve. We scoop and round all the way back up to sitting, and then you can scoop back, lengthen the legs on the mat. Our feet are hip bone distance apart, not the outsides of the hips, but the hip bones. Sitting tall, reach the arms forward, flex the feet. Make sure you're sitting up tall, not slumping. We're gonna scoop the abs in and up, reaching forward towards our feet. We exhale, restack, grow taller. Again, inhale, scooping the abs in and up, reaching the rib cage up and over our hips. And exhale, we restack, grow even taller in your seated position. We're gonna scoop those abs in and up, reaching, and we exhale to restack, grow taller. Again, inhale, we scoop and reach. And we restack, sit up even taller, sitting up out of those hips. Again, we scoop and reach forward. We restack, sitting up even taller. We take the feet as wide as the mat here. Arms are out to a T. Flex the feet, twist from above the hips. Twist to the right on your inhale, forward fold. Back palms up to the ceiling. We untwist back to center. Inhale, twist to the left. Look to your back palm. And exhale, untwist. Growing taller. Make sure your feet are even. That's a good tell of seeing if you're twisting from above the hips or your hips are moving. Inhale, twist to the right, forward fold, exhale, untwist. Inhale, twist to the left, we forward fold, we exhale, untwist, grow taller. Inhale, twist to the right, let's get that forward fold, untwist. Inhale, twist to the left, that back palm is up towards the ceiling, untwist. Twist to the right, one more each way, look to your back hand, untwist to center, twist to the left, and untwist. And we relax our arms. We're gonna make our way to laying on our stomach. Setting up for Cobra, our hands go under the shoulders, our heels together, toes apart, our forehead is flat on the mat. I want you to make sure you're not using your hands, we're connecting into our lower back extensors. On our inhale, we're lifting up the chest using the lower back extensors only, not the arms, not the hands, we lower back down. Again, we inhale to lift, press your pelvis into the mat, and we exhale to lower. Using our navel to spine connection, we inhale, lift that chest up. We exhale and lower it down. Again, inhale, we're gonna lift up through the chest, pressing the pelvis into the mat. And we exhale to lower. One more, we're gonna inhale and lift up, breathe in your work. And exhale, lower it down. And then from here, we can press back and take a child's pose. Sit on your heels, knees can be wide. Forward fold, reaching those arms forward. Nice big inhale as we round up, and exhale, your neck and head are the last thing to come up. We're laying back down on our side. Again, the back is lining up with the edge of the mat, hips and shoulders. We're gonna prop our neck and head up, and then we're gonna extend our legs long to the front corner of the mat, so they're on a diagonal. Make sure you're on your hip bone on your side. We'll float your top leg up to hip height. We're gonna inhale, sweep the leg forward, and exhale, sweep it back. Inhale, sweeping forward. Make sure you're looking straight ahead. You're not watching your foot. We sweep it back. And we wanna look straight ahead so you're not pulling down on that neck. We keep our whole spine nice and long. We inhale, sweep forward. We sweep back behind the other leg, get that squeeze and lift in the cheek. I want you to continue along, making sure your leg is not dropping down lower than hip height, and it's not lifting higher than hip height. It stays in that nice straight line. We sweep it forward and sweep it back. Try to get that nice squeeze and lift under your cheek as you sweep it back. Inhale it forward. Exhale, draw back. Make sure we're not wobbling on our hip. Sweeping forward on the inhale and back on our exhale. And then we line the legs up. We're gonna draw circles the size of a cantaloupe, reaching long through our toes. Our femur bone is rotating in our hip socket. We're gonna feel that gluteus medius start to fire up. Let's reverse the direction of our circles. We're reaching longer and further out of the hips, breathing through our work here, and we can go ahead and lower the leg down. We're gonna point and lift the leg up, we flex and lower it down. Inhale, point to lift, flex, exhale, lower. Pointing, lifting as high as you can without rolling back, lower down all the way to your other foot. Point, lift it up, flex, lengthen and lower. Again, we inhale to point and lift, we exhale to flex and lower. We keep the foot flexed now, we inhale up and exhale down still. We flex up and we point down now. Reach long out of that hip, we flex to lift, we point to lower. Again, you flex, lift it up, and you point, lower it down. We flex, lift, and you point, lower down all the way. Keep the foot pointed, lift up to hip height. We're doing our bicycle sweeps. Sweep the leg forward, knee towards chest, heel towards tush. Take it straight back and sweep it around. Just 3 in each direction. When your legs line up, reverse, sweep it back. Heel towards tush, knee towards chest, out in front of you and sweep it along. Making sure that as you do this bicycle, you're keeping your leg at hip height. You are not letting it lift higher, and we lower down all the way. Lengthen your legs back in line with you. Lengthen the arm out so you're laying on your bicep. We lift 2 legs and lower. Squeezing the glutes, we lift and lower through both legs. Let's connect into that bottom oblique. Make sure you're not rolling backwards off of your stabilizing hip. Lifting 2 legs up and lowering all the way to the mat. Squeezing the glutes. We are gonna lift and lower through both legs, and then we float our top leg up to hip height and lift the bottom leg to meet it and lower all the way to the mat. We lift and lower through just the bottom leg as your top leg stays hovering at hip bone height. Lifting and lowering, meeting that top leg and lowering back down with control. Make sure your top leg does not do that work. And then we roll onto our stomach, hands under the forehead, heels together, toes apart. Float your legs up over the mat, and we click those heels together in and out. Squeezing the glutes, press your pelvis into the mat. I want you to have your navel point lifting up towards the back, and then we lower the legs down. We'll press back. Making our way to our other side, we'll lay down with our back lined up with the edge of the mat. Our legs are gonna go long to the front corner of our mat. Legs are stacked, your top hand is a kickstand, and we're propping our neck and head up with our elbow. We wanna find a nice navel to spine connection, so we have a little bit of a lift and we look straight ahead. Your neck is long, and we're gonna sweep that leg forward on our inhale and back on our exhale. Reach long out of the hip, we inhale, sweep it forward, and exhale, sweep it back. Make sure your leg stays at hip height. It's not lifting higher towards the ceiling or dropping lower down towards your other leg. Inhaling as far forward as you can go without rolling back, and as far back as you can go without rolling forward. Reaching longer and further out of the hip. Inhale, sweep it forward, and exhale, sweep back. Again, inhale it forward and exhale to drop back. I'm gonna inhale to sweep, exhale to sweep. Make sure you're getting that breathing pattern in, sinking your navel to spine a little bit deeper. We line the legs up, and we are going into our cantaloupe-sized circles. Reaching longer and further out of the hip socket. Keep circling your leg, breathing through it. Let's go ahead and reverse our direction. Keep circling that leg, reaching longer and further out of the hips, breathing through our work here, circling it and then lowering it down. We're going to point, inhale, lift your leg up, flex, exhale, and lower all the way down. Point, inhale to lift, flex, exhale to lower. Point, lift that leg up as high as you can without rounding, dip back, flex and lower. Point to lift and flex to lower. We point and lift and flex lower, and then we switch. Flex, lift it up, point, lengthen and lower. Flex, inhale, lift, point, exhale, lower. Again, lifting as high as you can without rolling back. Reaching long out of that hip socket. Flex, lift it up and point to lower. One more, flex to lift and point to lower. And we float the leg back up to hip height. Sweep the leg forward, knee towards chest, heel towards tush. Sweep it around for our bicycle. Again, as we're sweeping our leg, we want to make sure that we are keeping that leg at hip height. Sweep it forward, and then we sweep back. Heel towards tush, knee towards chest, sweep it around. We have 2 more in this direction. Sweep it back, heel towards tush, knee towards chest, straight out, sweep it around. Lower the leg down. We're going to take our legs in line with the body. Lengthen your arm out, lay down on your bicep. Connect the legs together, lift both legs up and lower. We lift and lower through both legs. We want to make sure that as we're doing this work, we're keeping our inner thighs hugging together. You don't want your legs to separate. So if your legs are separating, don't lift quite so high. Lifting 2 legs up and lower all the way to the mat. Squeezing the glutes. Lift your top leg to hip height. Your bottom leg will lift to meet it, and we lower. We lift and lower through that bottom leg. As we're here, your top leg stays at hip height. We're not letting it drop down. Try to relax your shoulders. Bottom leg lifts up to it, and we lower back down all the way. Then we can lower the legs down, and we'll make our way to laying on our back for some teasers. So we can do our teasers with tabletop legs and arms up to the ceiling, and we would be rounding up and find the balance up on the sit bone, holding the legs in tabletop, and then we can round right back down to laying down. But if you're up for our traditional teaser, we take our legs long, heels together, toes apart, and your arms can be up over the shoulders, but traditionally they're back in line with your ears, and we lift the torso and legs at the same time. On your inhale, find your balance here. We can float the arms up to the ceiling, lower the torso and the legs at the same rate all the way down. You can do your tabletop version, or we can do our long-legged version. Again, we round up, open up through the chest, keeping that work in the abs, sink the navel to spine so we're not letting the hip flexors take over, and lower down with control. We're gonna round up once again, reach the arms long past the knees, draw circles in for 3, and then reverse for 3, and then lift the arms up and we lower. Again, nice big inhale, exhale. We round up, finding our teaser here. The arms stay still, but we lower the legs and lift. Try to keep your torso stable, so just the legs are lowering and lifting. Float the arms up and we round back down with control. Again, we're going to round up on our inhale, and this time we separate the feet and draw circles with the legs in one direction and reverse those. They're nice small circles. Then we draw to a stop, lift the arms up and round down all the way. We can go ahead and plant our feet hip distance apart and slowly round our way all the way up to sitting up nice and tall on our mat. And we're going to turn around and lay on our stomach. We want to have our arms long in line with our ears, our legs are long, hip distance apart, and we lift to hover over the mat, and we're going to go swimming. Lifting one arm in the opposite leg and then the other, we alternate. I want you to make sure your whole leg is kicking, not from the knee, not from the ankle. We're using our lower back extensors for this. And we can rest back down. We'll press back into a child's pose. Just get a little forward flexion in your spine after working those lower back extensors. Rounding up, we are going to make our way to standing up because we've got to get some arm work in. We haven't done anything for the arms yet. So we're going to stand up on our mat, heels together, toes apart. And on our inhale, chin towards chest, we slowly round down one vertebrae at a time. We're going to walk out into a plank. Shoulders are over our wrists, back is long. You're welcome to drop down to the knees for a modified push-up. The elbows reach back closely into the rib cage, and we lower and lift for 5 push-ups. I want your back to stay long, so if you feel your back arching, you don't have to go quite so low. It's more about staying in the work than getting your chest all the way down to the mat. After our 5th push-up, we pike our hips up to the ceiling and we walk back so that our heels can lower down, and then we slowly round up one vertebrae at a time. Neck and head are the final thing to come up. We have a total of 3 sets of push-ups, but if that's too much, you can work your way up to it. Again, we round our way down. Your hands will find the mat and we walk back out. You have the option of dropping to the knees for our modified push-ups, but the shoulders are over the wrists. Back is long. We lower and lift for 5 and 4. Keep that navel to spine connection. 3. Last 2 and 1. Lifting up. Pike your hips up and walk your hands back all the way till your heels are down. We slowly round up one vertebrae at a time. Again, the neck and head are the final thing to lift. Shoulders draw down and back. Last set here. Chin towards chest. We can round our way down. When your hands find the mat, you walk out, shifting into a plank. The shoulders are over the wrists. Upper back is filled up. Last set, we lower and lift for 5. Keep that back long. Keep that upper back filled up. Last 3 and 2
Last one, filling up. We pike those hips up, we walk our hands back, and I want you to just hang heavy. Let your heels touch the mat. Round up just so you're no longer touching the mat with your hands. Draw loose circles with your arms. Your neck and head are heavy, you're looking at your belly button. The torso is not moving. Let's reverse the arm direction. Nice loose circles like pendulums here. Draw the arms to a stop, shake the head no. Nod the head yes, draw the neck to a stop. We slowly restack, starting with that lumbar spine, then the thoracic spine. When your shoulders draw down and back, then we get into that cervical spine. That's the neck and then the head. Standing tall, you've made it through your classical 25 minutes.
And that is it. You made it through your 25-minute workout. In classical Pilates, there is a set order in which our exercises follow, and we have a much longer whole list of exercises. So if you're looking to get your full 50-minute workout in, or you want to work on that classical Pilates a little bit more, check out PilatesPunx.com, find our videos, and we have a whole selection of 50-minute class length workouts for you. If you guys have any questions about anything, you are always welcome to email info@PilatesPunx.com. And if you're looking to add any props or mats or anything into your workouts, we just use our own body weight. Today, with some of our other workouts, we're going to use props. You can check out the link below. It's going to feed you to our video add-ons page, which brings you to our Amazon affiliate account, and you can get anything your heart desires and our recommended products on there. Great job today, and I will see you guys next time.